Hold on. Let's go to Wolf's Den. I have free will? I hate that I have free will. Actually, you know what? Speaking of free will, there was a conversation that I had with a friend, actually. We were discussing whether free will exists or not. And I mentioned to my friend, hey, more likely than not, we do have free will rather than not free will. Because if we didn't have free will, my life would be so much easier. Like, I could just, nothing I do would matter and it would just all be planned out for me. But the fact of the matter is, like, if we didn't have free will, it would be easier. Life would be so much easier for me. And like, the arguments that I've heard about us not having free will are just not really compelling. And they're not very compelling arguments if you hear them. So yeah. My stance is that we have free will, and it sucks that we have free will. I wish we didn't, but we sadly have free will. Feel free to argue with me on that, though, if you want. I'd love to hear arguments on the fact that we actually don't have free will. I love hearing them. To be a hamster on a wheel, life would be so much easier, yes. Holy shit, yes, life would be so much easier. Not having free will sounds scary? Yeah. I think not having free will would be a little scary, but like at the same time, I wouldn't have to think as much. And honestly, I'm tired of thinking so much. So it's a trade-off, you know. Can eat the leaf that makes me forget. Yeah, but the issue with cannabis is it's also a relaxant, and I don't need to be relaxed. I can relax fine. I don't need to be further relaxed. In fact, I very much do not want to be relaxed further. Personally, think the opposite. I mean, that's why people believed in destiny and preordained events, so that they didn't have to consider the consequences of their actions. Yeah, I think you have a point, Sayun. I think people don't want to have responsibilities for the actions that they create. And to that, I say, I wish you a very good heck you. I'm glad to have to choose and get to choose to be better. Yeah, exactly. Not to say, like, there aren't coincidences. Like, I think one of the big arguments sort of against free will, if you really look into the deep minutiae of things, everything is like sort of predetermined. Say there's like a really massive wind that happens in like the Pacific Ocean or something, and then that wind mixes with like hot and cold wind to create a tornado, right? There is that sort of deterministic sort of factor when it comes to things. And if you really get down into the minutiae, then yes, everything may be predetermined and we don't have free will. But as human beings, we don't have that big sort of a foresight. So it's not really that much of a compelling argument, in my opinion. That's why I like to think we do have free will, and I hate having free will.